Hi, everybody. That was a hell of a performance you just saw. I'm Nicole Alvarez, and I'm joined. All right, where do we start? We'll start with the one and only, representing Cleveland, Ohio, the future of alternative rock, KennyHoopla.
Hello.
Thank you. The legendary, who are you again? See, I'm just kidding. See what I did there? The legendary Travis Barker. Hello. And then this is your introduction to the world. If you follow these guys, you know him by his handle at Dark Waves, but this is Nick Long. And Nick, we're going to start with you because you're coming out of the shadows, let's say, for the first time. Tell me what you're doing here and what you mean to this crew.
Well, I'm super stoked to be here, and I guess I've been working with Travis for about a year and a half, working on different projects, and he brought me in to work with Kenny one day, and it was like such an unexpected, just like magical first day of working together. And Kenny walked in and had this chorus idea for a song, but didn't know what the music should be. And we just kind of like, it was just one of those days where everything just really fell into place, and it felt so natural, which is like kind of gives me the best high kind of ever. And yeah, we just really had great chemistry right off the bat. So we just did this whole project together over the last however many months.
Now that the project is out, it dropped last night, well, this morning, but last night, technically. How do you feel hearing it back?
I love it. I mean, I'm super proud of it. It's like, I feel like for me, because I've been doing more of a songwriting role for the last few years, it's like, ideally, I would love to be able to make music that I want to listen to, and that's exactly what this is. You know, it's like, even if I wasn't a part of this, I would be rocking this driving around in my car.
So we're talking about Survivor's Guilt, the mixtape, and nowadays they say that rock and roll is dead, punk rock, all that stuff, and that really pisses me off because it's my world. And I think that now in the world that we live in, with all the angst and the pandemic and people feeling so angry, now is the best time for the music that you put out. So Travis, I'm going to ask you about these two. First of all, how'd you find Nick? And then I'll ask you how you found Kenny.
I was working with Machine Gun Kelly, and he had brought this idea that he had over with like acoustic guitar, and it had a hook idea, a reference, but he's like, I don't know how this song makes sense, or if there's a drum pattern, or what the arrangement is, or how to do this. So it was, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I hear a drum pattern right away. I hear like an idea for a bridge. I hear an outro. I hear this like trap part for verses. So I just did all that and then presented it to him, and I was like, hey, you need to get Dom, like Youngblood, on this. I don't know if you know who he is, but I had just done 11 minutes with him and Halsey. And he hit Dom the next day and was like, hey, come over. You got to be on this song. And that's how that happened. Long story short, he had said, my friend Nick played guitar on that song, like made up the guitar riff with another friend of ours. And maybe a few weeks later, him and Thug were on tour. He was playing me all these ideas him and Trippy had done together. And I was like, oh, that's my beat. And he played me another one. I said, oh, that's my beat. Like, whatever, 3 in a row. And he's like, fuck, we need to get in the studio ASAP, whatever. So we got in, and I said, hey, why don't you bring, for guitar, it's definitely not my strength. You should bring in the guy you told me about that wrote the guitar for I Think I'm Okay. And then Nick came into those sessions, and we started what would become like Tickets to My Downfall.
Yeah. And the chemistry was there from the get-go?
Yeah, I mean, Nick grew up playing in bands and being on Warped Tour and listening to The Descendants and Black Flag and Jawbreaker, which is like one side of my musical taste that just like definitely shaped who I am today.
For sure. Okay, what about Kenny? How'd you find Kenny?
Kenny and I
the
were
wonder
almost
that
like,
is KennyHoopla.
we just like did an interview, and it was kind of like online dating, where like where like you like someone's tweet, or like you like someone's Instagram, or like just start talking about music.
Yeah.
And that was us. We just like was chopping it up. I was a fan from the moment I heard him.
Where'd you hear him for the first time though? Was it the SoundCloud stuff?
I don't know. Like, it just like it somehow, I don't know who showed it to me, or I know how it came about. I was working with Smoke Perp, and his manager was looking after Kenny, and he was like, yo, you should really get in with my artist Kenny. And then I heard it, and I was like, whoa, Kenny's on some alternative shit like that you just don't hear all the time. And so we talked back and forth. We got in, came to the studio in North Hollywood at the time, where we were in the studio about 2 to 3 hours. We made Estella in that few hour gap.
That's it? Estella took 2 to 3 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had like prepared a few things, played him, and he was like, actually, I want to make a pop punk song. And I have a hook idea. So he went in and sang a hook a cappella, just vocals. And then we jammed ideas, like musical ideas around his vocal. And then I just finished the record over like the next, I don't know, maybe like 3 weeks. Sent him a couple different versions where the end is just like every other chorus. There's this ending has like double time. Here's this idea for a chorus or this idea for a bridge, whatever. Just did what I normally do, and Estella came out and went crazy.
Before I get to Kenny, Travis, you're freaking astounding to me because I get more than 11 emails into my inbox and I want to collapse. And here you have 4,522 jobs. And you make it seem so effortless. Like every artist gets your specific attention. You're super focused. You don't seem stressed. It must be the Barker Wellness. That's what it is.
Yes, it is.
It's the Barker Wellness.
That does help. No, I mean, DJ AM,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
I introduced you guys at a weenie roast on stage. It was you guys closed a weenie roast.
Oh, so that was my favorite weenie roast,
That was
honestly.
awesome.
But he used to say something like, find something you love and figure out a way to get paid for it.
Yep.
So
And that
that's-
you did, my friend.
yeah.
That you did. All right, Kenny, so from what I've read, and I purposely didn't read too much because I wanted this to be a natural conversation. I want to hear the story from you. So we'll start at the beginning. From what I know, you were about 10 years old. Your mom gave you like a tape recorder, and then there was a rap song. When did you first become friends with music, or when did it find you to the point that you're like became slightly obsessed or interested in it?
Man, I feel like it's been like my whole life. But off the top of my head, I was in kindergarten, and then I remember it was nap time, and then Only Time by Enya came on, and I was like,
By Enya?
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I was
Did
like,
not see that coming.
yeah, and then I was like, this is like beautiful. Like I don't know, I get why it spoke to me. Like
I mess with Enya, I hear you.
yeah, like sonically, and I was like, this is beautiful. And then that's like the earliest thing I can remember. But I just remember thinking like, this is beautiful, and like hoping it would come on the radio again, like whenever I like came back to school.
Do you remember the first musical moment in your life that you've had that gave you confidence, that made you think, I can pursue this. This is a thing.
I feel like music pursued me, and it was never something that I chose exactly. I mean, maybe there's a point where you have to start using your voice, and maybe that's what it was. But I feel like sincerely, it's just always been like me and music my whole life. Like as long as I can remember, it's just been like my only friend and my best friend. And yeah.
There are artists that enjoy playing music. You know, you just like to jam out. Some people are in it for the chicks, the travel, whatever. And then there's artists that need to play music because they know no other way. I feel like Kenny, you just based on how vulnerable and open you are on Twitter, and you're on there late at night and you have all these emotions that you're purging, but that's the kind, like that's a musician puts that into the music. So this is for the three of you. Do you just like to play music for the, because it's fun with your friends, or is it more of a need that drives you? It's like in your veins. All three of you can answer.
Yeah, I think it's a need, and I feel like it's something that it shows, I guess, almost us, and I don't know if I could like speak for you all, but that's how I feel like when I make music with them, and that's why we can all relate, because we all are able to talk through something. Like I can hear how he's feeling when he is drumming, and I can hear how Nick's feeling when he's playing guitar. Forgot the question.
No, this is my favorite conversation I think I've ever had. Do you need or do you just enjoy to play music? You answered it beautifully. Travis, what about you? Because I think he helped answer it, but from an outsider's perspective, it seems like you're another person that music chose, and you know no other way. So you're not just a guy that enjoys music, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, music's a necessity for me. Like, it's therapeutic. that I have to have it. Like even days I don't feel I don't play drums, I feel super off.
There are days you don't play drums?
Yeah, like and I'll try to like substitute it with other things to feel good, but nothing can fill in that space.
I
Or
so
like,
badly wish I played an instrument so I could jam with you three. Damn it.
yeah, being in the
Sometime.
studio, like creating or like feeling productive, or I don't know, creating something that didn't exist before is like a good feeling.
Yeah, and what it does for us, like you're creating it for yourselves, you're communicating, but then what it gives us, like us non-music, non-instrument players, is it gives us, music is my best friend too, and you introduced me to that, so thank you, all of you, for that. Nick, what about you? Is it somewhere in the middle, like you really have fun playing it, or it's more of a need?
No, I feel the same as like they said. I mean, I feel like it's my oldest and dearest friend, and like, I don't know. I mean, I think my most content, at peace, happiest moments of my life are playing music. Even just alone at my house, if I am playing something and I write something that I think is beautiful, I feel like, maybe this is crazy self-indulgent, but I just feel like cool. I feel like I earned my spot on earth today, and I feel okay, or better than okay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would do without music.
You feel connected to something. That feeling
For
is
sure.
priceless. All right, we're going to go through these 10 rapid questions. I didn't expect you here, so now it's going to be the three of you. But before I get to these really quick, I want to ask you a concert question, because I know from my point of view, I can't wait to get back to shows, like shows, full capacity, Forum, Madison Square Garden, all of those. My favorite moment at a show is after the opening band, like, the roadies are on stage, and then you're in mid-conversation, you forget that you forget the moment, and all of a sudden the lights go off, there's like a click, and you see like the shadow figures of the band walk on stage, and everybody erupts. That's my favorite. But as performers, what's your favorite part of a show? The moment. You're about to do a lot of them too.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I haven't really played too much shows, but I do know there's a point where it becomes, I don't know if it's the right word, but I feel like metaphysical, where something like spiritual takes over, and it's no more just like, I don't know, whatever like humans have inside them, like that goes into the air.
That's awesome.
Kind of thing.
It does. It actually does. Travis, what about you? What's your favorite? And God, I've seen you so many times, and it always looks like you're somewhere else.
Yeah, I guess I love when I'm just in the zone, and honestly, I don't even know what my body's doing. And
It's
if
working.
I think about it, I might fuck up. Yeah, so
It's definitely working for you.
or like when the odds are against me, when I'm bleeding or something's not right on stage. Those are my favorite, because I feel like I even
That's,
play better than.
That place, and I think he was talking about it, like that metaphysical place, or that other place that exists when we go there. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same. It's just like I feel like getting into that zone where I'm not thinking about anything else in life, and I'm just like completely in the moment.
God,
Also,
I
playing
love
guitar
those.
super loud is like the funnest thing.
God, I
ever.
love those. Okay, I'm going to do these 10. They're rapid fire. Just answer them pretty quick. Nick, we'll start with you. Well, no, this one, it was specifically for Travis. I'm going to start with you, because since you have 8,754 jobs, how do you measure success? When do you know you've done something? When do you feel accomplished?
When I'm happy.
Okay. That's a good answer. Okay, Nick, ready? Name a moment in your life that gave you the chills. Name a musical moment in your life that gave you chills.
Geez, I don't know. That's a crazy question. Like
Well,
that's
just-
like feels like a big question.
No, like, for example, when was the last time you saw a band you love and you weren't performing?
You know what? I'll say seeing, like, going to a show and watching a band that I've worked with, and watching the crowd sing lyrics that I wrote.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny, ready? The internet, good or bad?
Bad.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. Travis, are you comfortable being still?
No, as I rock back and forth on the chair and I'm like tapping.
That couldn't have been timed better. Okay, Nick, how do you know someone has it? If you're working with somebody, like a Kenny, like a you, how do you know?
I feel like you just know if something feels right, like something else in life. You just have that gut feeling.
Okay, Kenny, what's one thing you want people to know about Travis Barker?
He has
I like that you
a
take the
very
time.
good beanie collection.
Okay, that I didn't know. We didn't know that about you. All right, Nick, what's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote.
Yeah.
Oh my
Something
God.
or a motto that you live by.
Well, why is a shower running but you're not wet?
Okay, that's awesome. Travis, you've done so many things. Do you have a dream scenario that you haven't, a venue you haven't played, or a musical dream scenario? Describe one that you have yet to do.
I'm kind of spoiled with everything that I've done. I guess the one thing I haven't done that I look forward to doing is going away and setting up a studio and writing an album.
Do you know where? Would it be in the country, or like, do you have like a dream, like a vision in your head of where that would be?
Maybe like Idaho or Palm Springs or something.
Wow, I thought you were going to
don't
say
know.
Iceland, and you
No,
went Idaho. Cool.
That's too far.
That's really far away.
Yeah, somewhere close, but like enough
Okay.
enough distance though where I feel like I'm away from LA.
But and it's super peaceful.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And then the last thing I want to ask, and all of you can answer, the title for the mixtape Survivors Guild. Who chose the title, and what significance does that have to all of you?
I chose the title. Well, it kind of spoke to the times right now. I felt like this project was good for specifically now, like in culture as well. And I think even with the virus and stuff, with so much like tragedy happening, there's this sort of sense of like, guilt of surviving. And
I know what you're.
yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Whenever somebody asks me about 2020 or the pandemic, I feel bad saying that it didn't totally suck for me, but it sucked for so many people, and it didn't suck for me only because it was an education, and I did the most personal growth that I've ever done. But so many people lost jobs. I still have one, so I understand, and that was very well chosen. Travis, what do you want us all to know about Kenny and Nick, these up-and-comers who are going to help push the alternative rock genre back to where it needs to be?
Yeah, I mean, Kenny is my favorite type of artist, like tortured in the best way. That he writes great music. It's not like he's in there like looking for lyrical ideas or like what to write about. He has it all up here. It's just a matter of giving him the platform to add it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like give him the music that like equals his feelings or where he's at that day. So, yeah, I love that he's that.
How do you unlock that in an artist? How do you unlock when you know that they have that? How do you unlock it?
I don't know. I mean, like, I guess like there's some days, right? Like Kenny, we can't unlock it, and it's like today we're chilling,
Okay.
and then the next day it's like he has an abundance of ideas and a couple like concepts or like things to write about, and then it all comes out, and then we're listening back and we're like, you just said this. This is crazy. Like, did you know you said that? And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said
It
that.
just
You know,
came out, yeah.
that's how it is. But that's like, that's art in the truest form, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like what you experience when you work with Kenny. He's like, it's 100% real. It's not just like a cute song that makes sense for like radio
No,
or
I
something.
can see it.
you
I
know?
can see it. Just how thoughtfully he answers all the questions. Now, what about
Yeah.
Nick? What would you like people watching to know about Nick?
Like, especially for this project, like I couldn't have had like a better guitar player or like pretend we're a band, like a band member in the project with me, you know? Because we came up listening to like a style of music very similar, you know, and like have a lot of the same influences. It's like the best to work with them. Like I feel like this formula for the Kenny project is awesome, and Nick's like a great guitar player and like songwriter.
All right, Kenny, I'll ask you this question, but you guys can answer too. What is your favorite way to make contact with your fans virtually these days?
Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know. That's the thing. I have no clue. I'm not good at. Well, I'm learning how to like have a voice and how to have a platform and how to like stand on top of that platform. But what's worked best for me is just being real and like talking to them like humans and like letting them grow with me. But I feel like it's easy because a lot of the people that like listen to me, they can relate to like what I've came from. Like they're also like probably like stuck in wherever they are and like in a situation where their back's against the wall. So it's easy for me to connect with them, and it's easy for them to grow with me because it's like we're kind of all growing together because I'm coming out of that situation. So it's like kind of a unity thing. I don't know.
You connect really well. I'll tell you something on Twitter, because I love following you on Twitter, because you're very authentic. And it's not just like you're not trying for the one-liner and you're not trying to be funny. And it's just every time you go on there, you're having like a real moment, and you open up a door, and the fans that connect with you the most share a lot of stuff. So it's a very genuine space that you've created.
Yeah.
What about you guys? How do you like to connect with your fans these days?
I personally don't have any fans.
You're at Dark
I'm, like,
Waves
behind-
doesn't. You post, you retweet every.
No,
or
I don't
you
know.
Repost.
Yeah, I was in bands forever, and now I'm like just behind the scenes, and like it's like the perfect job that I didn't know existed. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm super happy just being behind the scenes and like getting to work with people that I respect.
T. Barker.
I think just sharing through like, I think the platforms I like the most is probably Twitter and like Instagram, and just, I don't know, I just be yourself. Like I don't say anything hoping it's gonna get a bunch of retweets or likes. I don't care. It's more of whatever's going on that day. Or with like Instagram, it's just like keeping my friends and like fan base like updated and staying connected with them, or like reposting or answering DMs like when I'm bored or whatever. That feels good, you know?
Yeah, I'm impressed by how you handle social media, because you've got all those jobs that we keep talking about, and you post daily. You post a pretty solid content, and you're also very artsy.
Thank you.
Who knew?
It's very nice of you to tell me.
There you go. Well, it's a lot of fun to watch you guys, and watching you two, Nick, Kenny, your stories unfold is going to be fantastic. You guys put out one hell of a project, and Travis, you done good, kid. You done good. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Nick Long, Travis Barker, Kenny Hoopla. I'm Nicole Alvarez. Thank you, and goodbye.